Hey guys, how are y'all today? Hopefully, everybody's having a good day. Ooh. So, I've been looking into this a little bit more for the Postal Service, and I found some pretty cool stuff. So, it makes a lot more sense now to me than it did. Because I'm learning just like you guys are. I don't have all the answers, I just have been lucky enough to find some answers. But today I found like a manual through the post office as to how to do this process. So basically, what we're gonna need a couple things to follow this process through. So you're gonna prepare a bank deposit remittance bag. So we're gonna have to order those remittance bags from the Postal Service in order to do this. Apply the address to the label using the bank address stamp from Harlan Clark or preprint label. What about the ABA routing number? I don't think that I have, but I could be wrong. If y'all wouldn't mind sharing this out to a couple people, let's get as many people in here as possible before I really start talking. And I will change the background so that y'all can see. The comments. So, but what about the ABA number? Because I kind of stopped with that process because I didn't have the funds to complete it. So I went a different route. But I'm more than interested to hear about whatever you found. Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, I like to put the picture up sometimes just to show people what we're talking about. Good, good. Trying to send this invite out to a few more people. And then good evening, good evening.
It dropped me right away. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
So I found the thing that you were talking about with the bank. I did my what's it called? I guess I set up my business account. Now I'm on to how do I start up the PO box and everything.
Okay. So have you
If you
got
don't
your
mind to
account
get
getting
into that, you
verified?
don't have to get into that right now. You can wait for people to get in here. I just wanted you to see if you could touch bases on that today.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah, go ahead and get. Are you sick, girl?
No, my allergies are bothering me.
Oh, I can hear your stuffiness. So
Good night, guys. Good night, guys.
I think I'm stuck in two lives right now.
Oh no.
Did you just say something, Big Wayne?
Yes, I just said good night, guys. Um,
Oh, okay. I was like, that sounded like someone else that was I was in live with earlier. So I was like, I think I'm stuck in two different lives right now.
no, I was just so I just texted about the ABA number because I've been studying about it. Series 7 securities and stuff, and I found out that based on your process, I was looking into your process. So I'm new to your process, but I'm looking into your process, and your process, you don't understand how much your process makes so much sense. If people even know how much your process makes sense, they will run to it.
Right.
Because I found out that with the social security number, meaning that the social security number is an account number, with the ABA number, routing number, you could actually go to the federal window and access your security through the routing number and the account number.
Really?
Yeah. But with your process, it's a little bit easier with the ABA routing number.
Okay. Well, do share.
Yeah, I'm writing that down right now.
I'm going to see if I can't pull up my daughter's tablet and show you guys what I was looking at earlier because it makes so much sense. Like you were saying, this stuff is really coming together.
What is the ABA routing number? What is this for? The ABA stand for?
Um, I don't. Basically, what an ABA number is just your routing number. It's like the
Your 9-digit area code.
So all
well, I've
banks,
heard that it's like your zip code.
yeah, all
Yeah,
banks have a routing number, and that routing number, even on some of the documents that was presented on your feed, it shows Bank of America, and then you see ABA, and then you see routing number. So all banks carry an ABA number, but you can get one for yourself, which gives you now, because we're banks and we're studying the trust process, it gives you now that right, that because everybody has the account number, but most people doesn't carry the routing number. So I found out how to get that routing number, which makes us now associate with the federal government through our
Mm-hmm.
social security.
Mm-hmm. And how did you go about finding your ABA routing number?
Well, you could just you could pay for it. So you can pay for it. It's like $500. I
Mm-hmm.
think the last time I checked, five something. You could pay for it, and then you would just add your trust identification number, and that number now will associate as a bank. It would show up as a bank.
Huh.
And that's why I'm saying your process is, if people understand your process, and I'm trying to learn your process, because everything that you've been talking about, it lines up.
Very
So
cool. I'm gonna have to learn your process.
where did you go to pay for your routing number? Who did you have to contact?
LexisNexis, I believe.
So yes, it's through LexisNexis, and it's so funny. It's through LexisNexis. LexisNexis is the biggest data record system for everybody in across the country. And it's so funny how you have to go to LexisNexis to get that routing number.
Hmm. Interesting. I appreciate that.
If you type in ABA routing number on Google, it's gonna bring up the website, and from there you could go and just do your research.
Hmm. Sure, we'll do that. 100% we'll do that.
Absolutely.
Because as as Starcy said, you want to present yourself both in the public and the private according to because if you follow the rules of the game, you understand that most of the stuff that we're thinking that is so hard to do is just that we don't have the proper information to do it.
So
Yes.
is this similar to like getting your banker's EIN, so then you wouldn't have to get your banker's EIN?
No, you still get your banker's EIN. It's just that now with your because remember you're gonna create a trust, but you have to have that one trust that is actually shows as a bank for us
Right,
to say we're bankers.
right. That's to keep your money or keep your
Exactly.
scratch.
So now the routing number, it's a route. Even if you go to the postal treaties and you read about what routing numbers are, because it was started through the postal treaties,
Huh.
routing numbers. And if you read what routing numbers are, it's a route. It takes a mere route.
Mm-hmm.
So that will show that your trust, all that fund that is pushed through the remittance and various securities, because even if you tie that trust to a broker, they could push it through the routing number easily.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Very good. That's awesome. It makes so much sense too. The way you just put it and the way Starseed puts it, you guys breaking it down like so simplifying it for the average Joe, I should say. And I know a lot of this isn't not easy for some people, you know.
Oh, it hasn't been easy. None of it's been easy.
I know, but it's definitely the way that you guys are putting it and breaking it down after you guys have done the hard part, I should
Right.
say. I'm not saying what you did was easy. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying after you've already did all this research, you guys are breaking it down for pretty much like the average Joe to understand.
I'm glad. I'm glad because
Because I'm literally understanding this a lot more listening to you right now. And you as well. What's your name? Sorry, Big Wayne. Thank you. And hi, Lee.
No
And
problem. No problem. As Darcy said, no gatekeeping.
right.
Hi,
right,
Jennifer. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
You want to get mommy a sandwich? Good. That's good. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Did you feel the shift this morning? It seems like there was this shift in the energy of just positive energy. It's good.
There was a
Yes.
shift. There was. Darcy, did you happen to also catch that call about the ES number, the 1040 ES and the 1040 B?
I didn't. I haven't been able to get on here too much the last few days. I've kind of not been on TikTok very much. I've been trying to figure this out. I actually had a group of ladies. How ironic is this, y'all? So I had this lady reach out to me a couple days ago, and she said, "Hey, I'm like a trust attorney or something like that," and she was like, "And we work out of Kentucky as well." And anyways, the city that they were from is the city I live in, and they were wanting to get with me to kind of, I guess, learn the process as well. But then they were going to offer me services in return, which I thought was kind of cool because I could probably definitely use it. I don't have very much knowledge on the administrative part of things, but why is this not working? I'm trying to use my daughter's tablet to pull up what I found earlier because it was so good. Okay, I think I figured it out. Let me look at this web. Okay, I'm gonna pull this website up real quick because it told us how to we need the bags to put the coupons in, and it gave us the instructions this time, and it's a USPS document.
Thanks for the roses.
You know, I haven't seen one of those weird TikTok videos in a while where it's like, "Thanks for the roses. Mmm, smells so sweet."
Is that what it sounded like? I didn't mean it to sound like that. I'm stretching and I just happened to look down and it saw little roses go across. I was like, thanks for the roses.
Oh
Yeah, it
goodness.
kind of sounded like that, but that's just I don't understand those lines. I really just don't understand it. They're acting like AI robots.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because there'll be like 5,000 people in that room watching
Oh,
that
I
demo.
know. And then you get places like this that absolutely need 5,000 people in here listening to this stuff, and there's not. And like I guess you have to act crazy and silly before people actually care what you're talking about.
Thanks, Deeds. Yeah, but I also think that sometimes there's bots. Like I don't really think that I mean I would hope that there's not 5,000 people really in there.
Oh yeah, you're right. There is probably about half of
Oh
that.
yeah, see Nicole. Same thought process, Nicole. I'm like, I don't really think. And I'm sure that Starseed's getting suppressed. I know a lot of us truth tellers are.
Yeah, because they don't want this out there in the all the way out there. Like, I mean, yeah, you'll get seen by some people, but they're not going to let like millions of people know this at one time.
Right. Let me get a big chunk. I will rent billboards on Highway 75.
Right? Were you in that call for the other day about the ESs and the 1040Vs?
Yes, I just put up notes. I took Kim Marie's notes. That was a 9-hour class.
Yeah,
And so I just posted all the notes that I had. I had a couple people ask me about send me your notes because I take good notes. So I just put it on my TikTok.
Well,
But you guys screenshot it. Yeah.
I suck at taking notes. It's like chicken scratch all over the place. And then I got to go back for 3 days to try to decipher what I was saying.
Well, my notes are up I just put them on my TikTok. If you want to, you got to scroll left and you'll see them. Just screenshot it. And another thing that I noticed too, when you guys screenshot that, if you're holding your phone, put your 2 thumbs on the screen and then kind of pinch in, and everything on the right-hand side, like my picture and the share and the comment and all that kind of stuff will disappear. That way you'll actually get you'll get the whole, just kind of push in the picture a little bit and everything on the screen will disappear and you can have it.
Well, my question was more not on your notes, but I will check those out. But my question wanted to be to you is, what did you think of that, and are you planning on doing that? Because it
I need to
seems like
simmer.
to me, this is what it seems like. I mean, not that it didn't seem like real or nothing, but to me, it's like that too good to be true type of thing.
No, because all of this is too good to be true. We just have to kind of figure out, if we're all given pieces of the puzzle, we have to figure out where it goes, how do we use it, is it needed, that kind of thing. It's almost like there's 3 boxes of puzzle all together. So you're going, damn, what goes with what? We got to figure out the border, right? The border is your foundation. Then we work on everything that goes into it. And we may have little pieces to it. And then we start to see this bigger picture. So today I went into her class, but I think she rescheduled it for Friday, but I sat in there a little bit.
Yeah, I was in there for a few minutes too. Yeah, I was there. I came late to the game. I was there 4 hours after it started, but I stayed in there for a few, listening to everybody talk about certain things, but then I got out of there because I was in the middle of something. But I mean, I was just, the way she made it sound and tell me if I got it wrong. She made it sound like I could do my ES today I could drop it off in the mail today, and in 2 weeks I can have a check for $62,000 in my bank to put in my bank. That's exactly what I heard.
I don't know. I haven't done it. My thing is anything that I send in, I also send in a letter of intent. Like here's
Okay.
this.
You're supposed
And
to.
yeah, and then also I'll write stuff like, if there's any changes that you need or need to do, or if I've missed anything, I give you authorization or permission, however you want to word it, to make those changes on my behalf. It's like you're giving limited power of attorney.
Right,
You
right.
know?
So you didn't get that from her? I mean, that's exactly what she said. Like you, in 2 weeks here, because the date of return was September 9th to 16th, I believe. So you would get your first check. In my head, this is what I just took in. Tell me if I was taking in wrong. In my head, I was thinking your first check would come in in September, and then the remainder of the years would be all together, which would be sent by December 31st, which she put. But of course, on the forms, I got the instructions, and it says the next period is actually ending January 16th of
Yeah,
2025.
that's what I got too. But again, I can't just jump off a cliff. I'm scared of
Me
heights.
neither, girl. That's why I'm
So
asking people that are
I'm
in
gonna let a
there.
couple people. Yeah, I gotta let a couple. Even today in the live, there was people that were talking about certain things and put this routing number in the Bank of Mellon and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, it's gonna kick it back out. That's like last year's shit. So I don't know what y'all are talking about, but
Right.
I just
Can I
wait and let them do it and see what happens.
can I drop a gem?
Yeah.
I heard 1040, and based on my study, I'm not more than anybody, and but I pay keen attention to details. And based on my studies, what I found out about IRS Form 1040, because when I did mine through the knowledge of Patrick Devine, and I studied after I've been to one class, and then I just got the information because I'm the type of person who get the information and then I'll go in to find more information. And I'm not stop digging until I find the bottom of the root. And if the bottom of the root don't got a bottom, then I'm gonna find another bottom. And and I've found out that the 1040 itself, it's based on what you're gonna operate from. Are you operating as a federal civil servant employee, or from that standpoint, or you're gonna operate from the decedent standpoint? Because there's two forms that actually allows you to make a return, and we're using the both forms incorrectly. We can't say we're gonna operate from the decedent, which is the estate, and then use 1040. That doesn't make any sense. But if you want to operate from the civil service, federal civil service standpoint, where you claim that minimum wage through the government and all its benefits, then you could use 1040. Because now you're gonna claim, which is self-reported wages, because they never said, according to my study, they never said what your wages is. It only said civil servant reported income. That's all it said to the documents that I've gone through. And that's what the 1040 is for, federal employee. So if you're going to operate from a federal employee standpoint, then 1040 is where you need to go to get a return. But if you're going to operate from the decedent standpoint, which is better for us, which we're supposed to operate through, because that's what we got our social insurance for, and it has a bigger deductible, then we use 1041. Because if you got your estate EIN number, if you read the bottom of it, it says 1041. It never says 1040. And I'm just want to put that out there.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, what she was basically saying was we were going to be paying ourselves to do the jobs of like taking care of the on the 1040 she was E, S, and the V. It would be us taking care of ourselves for taking care of our trust, to basically what we're doing right here, learning, doing like everything that we had to do. We were basically paying ourselves as an employee and employer as the same. Like we were also both. We were the employee paying ourselves for doing what we're doing as a job, which is taking care of the trust, going to and from the bank, to and from here. Like every hour that we spend doing what we're doing right now, setting up trust and all that, we're paying ourselves and what our worth is. That's what she was saying. Now, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, but that still sounds like you're operating from the estate. Because if you look at what an estate is, all person that is operating for that estate or under the governing of that estate would pay themselves through that estate. So
Yeah,
so
I was going to add to that. When you're an employee, when you're taking care of your trust, you're paying yourself through the 1041 because you have a salary as a trustee. So that's how you would pay yourself. So you wouldn't use a 1040 for that. You would use a 1041.
because the 1040, and I'm gonna drop another gem. The 1040 was assigned as a civil servant, a federal civil servant through the driver's license, because on the there is this code, according to DMV. I'd have to go in my notes and look up the code. According to DMV, they put you down as a micro immigrant worker. So because I went and got my DMV record, and that's what was on it, and I looked up the code and I found out that that's how we're supposed to pay ourselves. So whenever we drive on the road, that's why a cop could pull you over for anything, because they're saying that you're operating in commerce, because that's what the code is pulling up, because that's what DMV is presuming that you are doing every day when you're driving. They're presuming that you're working as a federal employee, getting as a taxi service, doing taxi service. That's what they're saying you're doing. So then at that point now you could use that 1040, because they're presuming that that's what you're doing. Then you could get an income through your own adjusted wages, basically. That's why you would use that 1040, based on my knowledge. And I'm not saying what she was saying is wrong. I'm just saying, based on my knowledge, that's the nitty gritty of what I've studied and what 1040 is for.
I got a question for you. Now, if you're doing a 1041, now I'm still learning this stuff as well, so excuse me if it's a stupid question, but if you're doing a 1041 on the private side, can you still do 1040s on the public side, or do you just choose one?
No, you could do both, because you could have more than one. So the 1040 is a gift gift to the estate. So when you do that, you're just saying that based on what my trust has said that I've worked, this is the gift that, because it's not an income. But on a 1040, when you do a 1040, that's presumed as income.
Not taxable.
Yeah, that's taxable. So the 1041 is a gift and an estate tax. But the 1040, that's income. You're reporting income at that point.
Guess I gave myself a nice gift.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it.
so basically you could do the 1040 and get a return based on your deductibles, and you still could do a 1041 with all your 1099s, because the 1099 and the OID has to go with it, because you're operating under the estate and trust. If you get what I'm saying.
And then, yeah. And then for the 1041, you're doing one of those a year?
Yeah, because what you do is just you would have to assess your tax for the year.
I'm sorry, I meant 1041, not
Yes, the
1040.
1041, you would assess your taxes for the year.
Oh, okay.
So all your
So,
so all your bills that you've been paying out of your pocket, you're
right.
basically saying that the estate just went ahead and cleared that bill, but I want to get this back at the end of the year for my credits because the estate paid out of their equity and
Right.
to cover that obligation. So now at the end of the year, I'm gonna put all these bills, all these loans, all these promissory notes, all these
Into the
securities.
1099s.
Yeah, and you would do a 1099, and then after you do the 1099s, you would do the OID and then claim that back from the IRS.
Right. And what if I've already done my 1041 for, let's say, last year, 23? Could I still do 1099s and not recoup credits, but still cancel out the debt? If that makes sense.
Hold on, Trucker. I think he's muted.
Sorry,
Oh,
could you
okay.
repeat your question, Chucker?
Yeah. So I've already done my 1041 because, like I said, I'm still new to this whole stuff and I'm still learning it. But to try and practice what I preach, I went through the whole steps of the 1099 all the way to the 1041. But what I didn't know or realize at the time was I was supposed to do all of my 1099s for all of 23 that I was trying to cancel out. So now that I've already done the 1041, is it okay to do 1099s without asking for credits, but just to cancel out the debt?
You could always cancel. You could always cancel the debt, but you always have to send out a letter of intent um, as a notice for. And what I get to find out as well, you could do a W-2C, which is a correction, put it on a W-2 and an allocation for all the funds that you forgot about. Because sometimes we miss in our taxes, when we're doing our taxes, we miss a step and we never did this. So you could go back and do a W-2C, which will make that a correction for that tax year.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
So I found out that this remittance process is basically a 10, you're pretty much going to be filing 1099s on your bills to offset them.
Pretty much.
I mean,
Pretty-
that's what we're doing pretty much.
pretty much. It's not. It's so. You are you. We have to look at what a department is and what an agency is. So the IRS is operating through the department. So based on that, they put certain forms there to help us, to guide us through the process of becoming our own bank, pretty much. That's what I get to find out. And I called and asked these information, and their agencies, their agency members that are willing to give you information. If you just gotta, I guess you just gotta be nice about how you go about doing stuff.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I agree
definitely
with
got to
that.
be nice about it.
Because I speak to people from the DTC. I speak to people from IRS, and they both give me the same information.
Yeah, see, been talking to the guy at in Washington D.C., the postmaster, that's been helping me along this process. But a lot of this information I've still had to go and figure out myself. They're not going to just give it to you.
No, they drop you little gems, and then you take that one word that they said, and you go and you find it.
Right.
Yeah, they
Start
do that.
discussing.
They be doing that thing, right? They just give you a little bit gem, and then you just go and find the rest of the information. But what I get to find out more that is everything happened to because of the postal service. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm now, when I saw your page, I was like, let me hop on this and see what she's saying and see if it's going in the line. Cause I was going right where you're at right now. I'm going there. I'm literally on that road coming up there. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody is actually studying the same thing. It's the postal service because they are the only one with the true currency.
Right. Exactly. They have our only gold and silver backed currency.
Exactly. And they're the only one that has true jurisdiction.
Right.
What that means is that they could be in any jurisdiction because they have international jurisdiction. And that's what I get to find out. Their currency is international.
Yes.
It's not tied to the United States corporation. It's tied to an international jurisdiction.
Correct.
So is your path you're going becoming postmaster?
We're all postmasters, but yes.
Well,
We all
yeah.
we all own the post. Um, there is only one master, but there we all own a post. So based on her process that I'm looking into, is that you want to establish that post. You want that post to be established with your trust. So that
Basically
way,
invoke it.
you're right.
Yeah.
So that way, when we're doing these process and we're offsetting our debt, we're not only just getting credits because credits, it's still fiat. You get what I'm saying? It's still fiat. It's not. You're not owning anything, pretty much. You get
Right.
what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
get you.
They're
Yeah, I got
credits.
you.
But the post, though, when you do it through the post, you could say, "Oh, I want lawful currency," and it shows on the back end because we have to remember on the back end is a private, on the front end is a public. It might show up on the front end as credit, but when they go into the system and looking at everything, they could see your status. That's true status correction.
Can everybody like tap the screen and share this out? This is information that everybody needs right now. Because
And
sometimes I
I'm
know
going to
the
sit back and
information, but I don't know how to convey it to everybody.
I'm going to sit back and take in the class. I don't want to take over the class.
No, you're good. You can talk if you got something to add, please. Because see, I'm
No,
stuck in my own head all the time.
and I'm very quiet. But I was excited. I was so excited about because I seen a lot of videos, and everybody has their own thing because you learn different information at a certain pace, and there's so
Right.
much information out there, and there is good and bad, but you just need to take that one good information and put it with another good information. Trust is something that everybody needs to have. Needs. If you need generational wealth, and that's where I started because I was looking at generation to comes, like the Rothschilds. What did they do that was so good? They became a bank. That's what they
Well, it's
did.
it's it's like they say the difference between rich and poor is just paperwork.
Exactly. Exactly. And what the Rothschild did, they became a bank. And that's I took that information when I learned that's what they did. I was like, okay, so I know what to do. But how to do it? Then I start doing my research and then I start finding out other information.
I don't even know how. I was working on the remittances and trying to figure out how to become free. And over the last couple of years, I had heard about the Postal Service being like head honcho, number one. And so I went with that. And I don't know, one day I think I was talking to my chat GBT and I asked it, like, hey, how do I remit my bills through the Postal Service? And it gave me instructions. Like, that's just what we're supposed to be doing. And through the whole process, I mean, I've encountered so many people that it's just like whenever I'm talking to the Postal Service people, like in the offices, it's like, yeah, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, But then the people in the like in the home offices, like my local post office, they don't know anything about this. Like,
They usually don't know because they're operating on the public side.
right.
So you don't expect them to know. And I see a lot of people are doing that, which is so wrong. We're expecting public to know. There's a reason why they keep the public in the dark. And
Right.
people don't get that. There's a reason why they keep the public in the dark because it's only the few that is chosen gonna separate themselves and join the right side. And it's just true. It's only a few.
I
There's
mean,
a
I don't feel like
reason
we
why
should
they keep the
gatekeep the
public in the dark.
information, and I think
No,
that everybody should have their basic human needs met. I mean, that should be like,
and they can. And they can. It's just information, as we said. It's just information. Just learning the right information. Because when I spoke to the lady at the Internal Revenue Service, she said I was on the right track. She didn't agree to what I was saying, but she used these words. I was on the right track. And that told me everything.
since I've come up with the postal service, since I've started talking about it, there has been so many people reach out to me and be like, "Hey, you're getting there, or you're almost there. Keep reading." Like giving me little hints. Like, just tell me already. Shit.
But I'm definitely getting your information, and I'm definitely getting myself set up because I know based on my studies, I know your process that you're doing, and you're saying we're doing it together.
Hmm.
It's like, oh my God, people need to run to the process because if they get themselves set up in the right way, because oh my God, they don't understand jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is a big thing,
That's what
even
I
for
was
the
trying to tell
court.
my husband. I was like, look, we're not gonna get driver's licenses. We're gonna do the passports because if we're registered through that PO box with the passports, and you've done your proper forms filing, you pull yourself out of the jurisdiction of the United States of America Corporation, and you
Completely, completely. That's what it is. That district of the DC
District of
district,
Columbia.
yeah, the District of Columbia. What they try to do is they try to use the mail service because there's two part of the postal service that I'm also getting to find out based on court documents that I've submitted. I'm getting to find out that anything that you put in the mail is considered served based on the fact that they changed the postal service rules slightly to fit their fraud, pretty much.
Hmm.
This I'm just gonna put it like that because I don't want to go into it technically. Just to
Right.
fit their
Yes.
fraud, they changed the postal service rules slightly to fit what they wanted to fit. And service in the mail consider as jurisdiction. They have jurisdiction over you. But with the process you're talking about, if I could get a PO box, which is a lockbox service, it's a lockbox service. Now, your process, I get to also understand that I could use the postal address as the home address, place of abode. Now, you don't have jurisdiction over me because anything that you're going to send to me based on solicitation, it has to come correct.
Hmm.
And if it doesn't meet the element of service through the postal service, then you're held liable and I could sue you. And according to the postal treaty, it goes up a lot of money. And I'm talking about lawful money.
Right, right. That's the thing. And look, so once we figure out how to establish ourselves within the post office and do all this, then we go back and we take our land because that's where all of our
That's
currency
what they're
is.
trying to stop. That's
Yes,
exactly what they're trying to stop. Because now you have land rights.
exactly. And once you have land rights, once you get that land, allodial title to that land, You have the jurisdiction over that land. Not only the jurisdiction, you have the water rights, the mineral rights, the lumber rights, the grazing rights, all of it.
If you step out of their jurisdiction, now you're stepping out of the water onto the land. And the only person I know that is now located on the land is the post office.
Ooh, just yeah, that's some allodium.
Wow, everybody needs to take that and just let that sink in right there. That's the only thing that's on land right now. Wow. So that's let that sink. Just let that sink in. So how important is this post office, you know? Like
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really important. It's
So
really
you're
important.
saying you're
Just read
saying
their
that the
documents.
post office doesn't go by maritime law.
No, they don't. They
No,
have their own.
no. Yeah, they have their own routing number, which makes them a bank. That's why when I saw that one post, Starseed post on their feed, when the guy from the postal service was telling people that the post office can operate like a bank, I was like, he's telling the truth because it's right there in their documents. They have their own routing number, which means they have their own zip code. And that's why I've been talking about the ABA number because that's how important it is. Owning
So
your
we need
own
to get
zip
that.
code. It's just like the Empire State Building. It has its own zip code.
Yes, it does. Huh.
When you go to the Empire State Building, you're no longer in New York. You're
Oh,
in that zip code.
you know what else? So the Supreme Court has, I was just thinking about this, but somehow it ties in and there's something to it. The Supreme Court at the top of their building, it has a basketball court and is known as the highest court in the lands.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. And if you know anything about the Court of Chancellor, it ties to the post office.
Yes, that's our postal court.
Exactly. And
That,
that's the reason why everything goes back to the post office because it's the only thing that is located on land. Everything else is maritime. That's why they have the enemy the peace and friendship treaty and the enemies war powers act because of the pirates. They're saying right now we're operating as a pirate and we're pirating, which meaning we're doing something totally wrong. Totally wrong. And if we're pirates, we're bad. And I don't want to be bad. So I'm gonna step out of the water and step on the land.
mm-hmm. Oh, something just, oh, Monopoly money. So if you look at the color, if you put our money next to Monopoly money and look at the colors, y'all, we got fucking Monopoly money. That's what we've got. Our money doesn't even have dollar signs on it.
And we need to stop calling it money.
Exactly. It's not money.
It's not even money. It's not even a dollar. Because if it was a dollar, then we could say, okay, it holds the title of a unit of measurement, right? Because that's what a dollar is, a unit of measurement. So when you go to the court and she said you need to pay in dollars, you need to ask her exactly what unit of measurement do you need me to pay. But if the currency doesn't hold the title of a unit of measurement, what is it? It's
Legal
just
tender. It's
it's
legal
not
tender.
it's negotiable based on the public. And that's why we need to go to the postal service to get the real money. Because they have the true
Y'all,
currency.
y'all better stop buying all those stamps.
Look, they're starting to not sell them anymore. Like I get kicked out of my local post office every week that I go in there. And
They can't sell them like how we think. They don't manufacture them. We still in the mindset of the public. So
mhm.
we feel like they're supposed to have them on hand. They can't manufacture real money like how they do fiat. It doesn't work like that. So we have to understand that when they say they can't give it to you, they have to also do their taxes. they have to also assess their taxes, and what they allocate on and is what they allocate on and. They're not FDIC insured, so they're reluctant and into giving out those real money.
Huh.
Just like the court is not FDIC insured, and the court is a bank.
This is all just, but it's so simple when you get through to when you figure out the processes, they're actually not that complicated. It's just figuring out which process it is. But I think that I'm figuring it out because the trust account has a positive balance.
You got it. You got it. You got exactly what you got exactly the steps, and that's why I'm taking your knowledge. I'm over here learning from you. You got it because I asked the question to somebody that is higher up. They're in the financial services department, and a good friend of mine, and they said, "Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what we do. We actually call it a money order. That's what they call the remittance on the back end.
Uh-huh.
It's called a money order."
You just put the last piece together for me then. Thank you.
Yep. Just like whenever you have a retail installment, it's called a purchase money loan because it's still a money order.
Huh.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just excited for the process.
Hey, aren't we all? No need to be sorry.
I've seen a lot of people like take on to this very quickly. Like I've went into several lives lately and they've been talking about the Postal Service and the process, which I think is awesome. It means that the word is getting out there to people.
And just remember one thing, take note of the fact that there's only but so many P.O. boxes available at the post office. So you all better start reserving them now because sooner or later.
Yes, that's so true. They're ordered to come to hold actually because you have to fund the trust basically. So you have to fund the PO boxes. They have to see that it's been funded, and that's why you have to start depositing those remittance in there. So because now it's gonna act. Because when you say lockbox service, if you look up the meaning of lockbox service in I think it's I'm Jurisprudence, Volume 7, right? If you look up lockbox service, that's what it is. It's a bank. It holds funds.
And Starseed, I was at my post office the other day, and I live in a small little town practically in the middle of nowhere, it seems like. So if you ever need some kind of stamps and stuff like that, just hit me up and I could get those stamps for you from over here and send them to you.
Okay.
But we all have post office by us, so we can sit there and trade stamps all day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we're supposed to do. That's what makes us a national.
That's right.
That's what makes us a national. You join that community, and it's the mindset. It's doing good in
Yes.
that community that
That's
makes us
right.
nationals.
That's right. So if you all need something and I could get it here, you just hit me up, message me. I'll even text you, give you my text or whatever, or my email. And if I don't have something I need, I could hit someone else up, hopefully. So
Well,
scratch my
you
back,
wanna
I
get-
scratch yours.
Yep. You want to provide that right now? Because I'll send you what I need if you can find it, which I probably don't think is available anymore, but there's a handful of them out there.
Yeah, I'll send you after I get off this live, but I don't know why, for some reason, whenever I go to message somebody, when I come back, I have two different lives on. I have yours and someone else's in the background that I can't shut off unless I got it pop out. So as soon as I get off, let me write down your name so I can remember.
I see you now.
Also, Starseed, what I found out this information as well. To operate in the public, if we're gonna do the remittance process, I found out that we're supposed to. So everybody owns a bank account, right? And I found out that we're supposed to use the credit card, which is our credit card, which is the social security card, and we're supposed to get credit for the amount of debt that we have, and then we remittance that one bank, but everybody's going to different financial institution, and they're convoluting the process because we're not just using one credit card. We're supposed to use one credit card for all the debt, and then at the end we remittance that one credit card, put everything on that one credit card, and then we remittance it.
Right.
So we're supposed to get a credit card because they can't deny us credit. And if they can't deny us credit, right? Say our debt obligation for them for all for also goods is 100,000. We're supposed to get a credit card for 100,000, and we spend 100,000, and then remittance that 100,000.
Yeah, but that may be what's supposed to happen, but it's not what happens.
Yeah, because nobody told us that was supposed to happen. That's the information I get to find out from a bank.
How many of those are you looking
I'm gonna
for?
hop off of here, guys. I just wanted to say thanks for letting me up and thanks for answering some questions for me.
10 to 20, whatever you can find.
All right.
Yeah, this stuff's very fascinating, and it's the rabbit holes are endless with it. You can just keep going. But I found out that you're going to have to file a 56, a Form 56 or 56F in this process, which I had already done that, and I kind of already thought that that was part of it. And you're going to need to get the bags in order for this to actually work. They're G10 label tamper evident plastic bags. Just giving you a little bit of stuff that you're going to need if you're going
What
to.
were those bags called?
G10 label. Or no, okay, so attach the G10 label to the tamper evident plastic bag. So you need the bags and then the G10, I think it's registered labels. Yeah, registered mail labels with barcode. They'll have like barcodes on them. You can order those through the Postal One desktop. They'll come with like rolls of 200.
The bags will, or the labels?
The labels will.
Okay.
And you put those in the space provided on the front of the bag. Complete PS Form 3806, receipt for registered mail, and file the form locally. Enter the registered mail article number in the registered dispatch book, PS Form 3584 or 3584A. Place the deposit ticket, check items list of check items, and cash in the tamper evident plastic bag. Do not include any other documents.
Do you mind pinning that postal one in the comments?
Yeah, let me go grab it real quick.
Hey, Big Wayne, I got a question.
Okay.
Okay, on the 1041, on when you file your 1041, can you file? Are you supposed to file a 1040 for your employees of the trust, like for the salaries of the trust? Or do they file a 1040?
Your employee gives you a W-2 at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
So, and a W-2 is still under the 1041.
Okay. All right. Thank
Because
you.
you don't get you don't have income. You doesn't get an income. You get compensation from your employee.
Okay.
So you get compensated for the time the agreement that you and your employee. That's why you could go back and do a WBEN form with your employee and revoke the voluntary tax withheld.
Okay, they would revoke is it the W8BEN?
W8BEN form.
Okay,
The number
all right.
8, W8BEN form.
Revoke for the employee, okay. And then,
No, revoke. You're gonna do a revocation of election with the IRS.
okay, yeah,
A revocation of election with the IRS, and then you're gonna file the WBEN form with your employer. It says give it to your employer. So you
Okay,
have to
all
give
right.
that to your employer, and then with that, your employer is still gonna file taxes as usual. They're still gonna conduct business as usual. When they give you the W-2 at the end of the year, you're gonna put that on the 1041.
Oh, okay, 1041, okay, all right.
And you could get a tax assessor to do that. It's just that we just never ask the tax assessors to do that. We just go with whatever they give us.
Okay, I appreciate it, thank you.
No problem.
My understanding is you can actually have all your back taxes refunded to you because you can elect to say, hey, I didn't have a choice in having these withholdings.
You could have up to 3 generation back taxes to you.
I only live once, so how do I get 3 generations? How does that work?
Yeah, that's why it's back. That's why it's back. It's never forward.
All
So
right, so when you say back taxes, you're saying that I can claim the back taxes of my parents and
3
grandparents?
generations.
You said 3, right? Is in the number 3?
Yeah, so you would be the third one.
So you're saying I can get my parents and grandparents back taxes?
Yes.
And
What's
that's
the
why it's
process?
important. That's why it's important to bring your lineage forward. Like if you start your lineage, and then you can also look in the Interior Department. That's going to bring in, like, if you're an Indian or if you have like any type of lineage. So
Well, I
that's
was a
why-
cowboy. I was a cowboy back then, but I'm more interested in finding out how do you get. I don't mean to be rude, Lee. I'm just trying to figure out what's the process to have that effectuated.
Did you put it on there?
On where? When you say there,
So you fill out the form. You fill out the form, the 1040 form, and you send it in, and it says it's just a statement. It's easy as putting just one statement on the paper with IRS. I wish to claim 3 generations taxes, and they're gonna send you all the credits for 3
oh,
generations.
so they send you. So they'll send you the credits, and then I got to send you a check from the Treasury. Then you have to claim the credits.
They're gonna send you a treasury check. That's all they're gonna send you. So how much you want to claim for 3 generation? I don't know.
Well, we don't know what. I mean, the reality of the matter is that let's say the average salary today is 54,000. The last generation might have been 32, and my grandparents' generation might have been 16
Exactly.
or 12.
So that's
you know.
how you. So that's how you do your calculation, because as you're doing your own administration process because you're an office. So based on your administration process, you're gonna say, all right, based on what was the tax for that year of my grandparents, how long they worked. Based on that, I did my calculation. This is what I come up with for my grandparents. This is my tax year for my mom. Based on my calculation, this is what I come up with. I want to claim all the credits. And they have to give it to you. Because remember, on the deductible for the 1041, it's $1 million and change for the deductible. On the 1040, it's only like, I think it's up to, based on what your tax wages are. So it fluctuates. But on the 1041, it's like $1 million and change for the deductible.
Hey, Elena,
Yes.
setting up the bank information on EPS. when I read the manual, because I printed it off, I mean, I know you had posted, screenshotted, whatever. It's supposed to be the Wells Fargo, correct?
Mm-hmm.
With our EPS number.
Yes.
But like the first question is, obviously, are you a financial institute or credit union? That would be a no.
Right.
Because we're not, or are we?
Well, the first one that I did, I said no, I wasn't, because I didn't know
Correct.
what I was doing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. But the second one I did, and then I said I was a corporation. So for the next question after that, it was, are you a corporation or, and then maybe it was individual.
Yeah, personal or corporate.
But see, I feel like after watching the postal that Mark, what was his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
The post office guy. He said
yeah.
that we want to be individuals, not.
Yes, but if you click personal, it does
Right.
not allow you to do anything.
So yeah, you would be the corporation because you know, technically by their rules, we are a corporation. But the way that I did it, I hit that I was not a banking institution because I didn't know.
Right.
So that's the way I've done it. And then I used the numbers. So it tells you the numbers to use, guys, for this banking
Yeah,
information.
it does. The Wells Fargo stuff.
You're not using your information, your banking information. You're using the information that they're giving you. You're going to use your EPS number along with the information. It's like 703800.
Zero. There's
Yeah.
3 zeros.
You're going to use that information though. You're not using your information. And it's fascinating, really. It truly is. Like, I've been online buying half silver, like half dollars that are like pre 1933, and like the real currency that we have, the stuff that's actually backed by silver and gold.
Like old Morgan civil dollars, you mean?
Yeah. And like the federally registered dollar bills that have the gold or the silver certificates attached to them.
You're talking about the one that says, pay on the bearer, pay pay on demand of the bearer.
Yeah, the federally registered one. So they've got the markings on them. Some of them are like red stamped, and some of them are blue stamped.
It says pay on the bearer. Yeah, those are actually dollars.
Right.
But that's why if you put $1 with that one that you have, and you see the complete different. They're totally different because one have the negotiable language to it, and the other one doesn't have anything to it. I think everybody should own one of those federal dollars.
I think you should use it to fund your trust.
Yeah, you can. The one you could use
Or
the
here, better yet. So you're gonna send in you're gonna validate the authenticity of your birth certificate yourself by using your fingerprints and your footprints, having arms and legs, and then you are going to attach a red fox stamp on that with your $50 silver note or silver coin and your $1 bill.
It's why would you do that to a birth certification?
Why would you do that? Because that's funding your trust. It would,
But you could just fund the trust with the certification. That's what the word certification means.
right? But just, do you want? I mean, that would like.
So you're trying to add a tender to the certification? Mm-hmm. Because the certification in itself, if we're using our birth certification the proper way, it's the certification in itself. It's a currency. It's backed in full faith in credit.
Right, but you have
Hey,
to
can I say
authenticate the birth
something
certificate.
about that?
Huh?
Yes.
So the birth certification is backed by full faith in credit. That means that the birth certification holds the same weight as any credit card, coupon book, currency, dollars. It's backed by it's actually money.
Right, but if we could authenticate it without having to go through the whole months-long process, because I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. The authentication process. Yeah, you write up your own notice. You have to operate in private when you're doing authentication. They already have their stamp on it. It's authentic because it has a seal on it. So when you make something authentic, you have to put a seal on it. So when you put your fingerprint on it, you're saying, okay, I'm the holder in due course, and I want to make this depository to fund our trust because it has full faith in credit. Now what you have to do is, I wouldn't put $1 to it because the birth certification holds way more. I would write up a notice of intent for however amount of credit I want that certification to hold when I'm funding my trust.
Can everybody hear me?
notice of intent's very important
Hello?
with anything. What were you
Yep.
gonna ask or add?
Big Wayne about the birth certificate. When you were talking about the authentication, are you talking about like a conveyance,
No,
like to go with the BC?
no. When you're conveying something, you're actually doing a transfer. So when you're funding the trust, you're conveying it. So now the authentication is a seal. So what Starseed was saying, that she is right when she said that she thinks that we're doing it incorrectly with the authentication because it's already authentic, because it's not ours, it's the state. It's already a corporation document. So because it's already a corporation document and the corporation already has their seal on it, you want to make it your copy by putting your fingerprint on it, sign through it, put your own seal on it, on the back of it, endorse it, and then you do a conveyance with that intent.
Okay, because I got a hold of, well, I ended up doing one with a friend of mine who we got in contact with like a tax person that she was cool with, and then we all just kind of came together and did that. Like we did they would call certificated security, and then we wrote up a conveyance with a value on it, and instead of putting a thumbprint, like a red thumbprint, we did like what do you call it? Dang it, I'm nervous, y'all. Sorry.
Don't be nervous.
We did like a insignia, no, like a family crest. We created a family crest
That
and then
works
put
too.
it on there.
That works too.
Yeah,
Because
we
if your
create.
trust has one of those, that works too.
Yeah, so we already created, like, I don't know if anybody spoke about this yet, but we created a 508 already. So we did like a living trust through that. So we conveyed it into a living trust,
Okay.
put a crest on it instead.
So now you have the opportunity to go and mortgage it.
Right. I'm like nervous. See, it's all about performance because we could talk about this all day, but it's like that performance. So I haven't used it. Like I haven't actually went out and said, you know what? Let me use this thing.
No,
But I
because
have it.
people don't know the importance of the certification. The certification holds the weight. That's why you have to look on, I think it's Am Jurisprudence. Read up what certification is in Am Jurisprudence, right? Go to the law library, pull out
Okay.
the Am Jurisprudence, read up what certification is. It holds a lot of weight. When you put the word certification on something, it holds a
Okay.
lot of weight. But when the government does it, it holds even more because they're creating stuff as currency. They don't do anything because they do everything in commercial. They have to create current. Everything got to be current. Everything got to go to a route. You understand? Because it has to go back to the
Yeah.
dock. Everything is maritime
Yes.
for them. So they have to create current. Whenever they give something out, it's for current. It's through the tide. It holds weight. So their value is full faith in credit based on the presumption of what currency is. A full faith is backed by the same thing your social security is backed by. Because even your social security card is made up of the same thing that the birth certification card is made up of. The same type of material that makes money is the both of them is made up by the same thing.
Right.
And that's why they look like monopoly money. If you put your birth certification up in the light and put a dollar up in the light, it got color to it.
Oh, you're 100% right. And on top of that, see, we've been so busy, but I'll be honest, I've been moving and just doing, but not really understanding what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like, oh, we could do this, let's just do it.
No,
but
we
then
need
I'm
to go back
sitting
to the
there not
meanings.
knowing what it's really like what the value is to
No.
doing that.
All right, so they're playing word game with us. That's why we don't know what we're doing. They're playing word game with us. We need to go back to the meaning of words. Go back to where it starts from. What are the meanings of word? When they put the words on these documents, go look them up. Read your contract, read your documents. Look up the word if you don't know what the word means. Go into their dictionary, the banking dictionary, the law dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary, and look up what these words mean. And you see that these words, they're not just using it out of the tin here. They're playing word games because that's the spell on the board game.
100%. I mean, it's to the point where also, I don't know if this is a nugget. I could be wrong because this is what I was told, that even when you do the certificate of security and you add the conveyance, you do the crest or whatever the case may be, or the thumbprint, either or, we just decided not to do the thumbprint, the red thumbprint, and did the crest. There's like a limit in the value. I mean, you could put a value on whatever. Nobody could tell you the value that you put on yourself, on your living soul. But I think it's like 100 million is like the max.
Yeah,
that they
because
would.
because the current. That's why when I spoke about the 1040, when I spoke about the 1040, you can't max it out. They're not going to give you $10 billion.
Right.
They're not going to give you $10 billion. Don't expect that. But you could allocate the funds to get $1 billion every so much year till it mature. So in total, you still get $10 billion. It's just like when they created a car contract, they make you pay every month. So you create your own contract saying that, hey, this is how I want this to be funded every year.
100%.
So you still in return get $10 billion, but they're not going to give you 10 billion one time. They're not going to do it. They don't hand out the credits like that.
And that's for just one certificate of security. I also found out you could like multiply this. Like you could do many of these certificate of security.
It's however much you have, however much you got. But if you have kids, you don't need to do. People trying to be greedy. Take greed out of it. Just do what you have in front of you. If you have kids, do your kids, do yours, do your family, do your relative. Just start being good. Start handing out. Start giving back. Start with yours. Start with your kids. Start with your family, and just start giving out, handing back.
Oh, absolutely. I think I forgot who it was. Was it Jennifer? Someone was mentioned. I don't know where I heard it from. There's so many different things going on. But somebody said a lot of times when they're allocating and what they see with the credits and the things moving, especially in the private, are for those who are humanitarians, philanthropists, people who are like, we were also working on bonds, creating our own bonds, right? Creating our own money. Like similar to the coupons and the like the money orders that we could kind of create, but in essence we literally create our own bonds and put it was crazy. And we did a letter of instruction, we did the 1099As and OIDs, we did a 1041 this time because we're kind of like doing it through a trust. Remind you, I kind of know what I'm doing, but I'm kind of just go with the flow. But I had to stop because at this point, you really got to know what you're doing before you just start playing around like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even the word acquisition of abandonment. People don't even know what the word acquisition of abandonment means, but they're doing 1099A.
Right.
What are you saying that is abandoned? Are you going to give away your credits? I don't get why you're doing a 1099A, because it's literally said on the form, acquisition of abandonment. What intent are you tying to that? Who you're saying giving away they're abandoning their estate, they're abandoning their credits, they're abandoning the asset. Who are you saying doing that? Are you saying yourself doing that?
No,
Are you
I
saying the
think that
corporate?
the issue of the 1099A is that, let's say you take out a mortgage 20 years ago and it's been securitized, but you had no idea that that was happening, or any kind of, loan for that matter. And they're taking the funds that are on the second ledger that you're not even aware of, and because they're abandoned, they're acting like it's theirs. So my understanding is when you file a 1099A on that account that you have hopefully the QSIP number to, or you'll get the QSIP number, then you're claiming the fact that, hey, I didn't abandon these funds. You're taking control of the fact that I'm showing up, these funds are mine, and then you wind up claiming them through a 1099B. That's my understanding of the process that a lot of folks have been following with success.
Which is correct, because now you have to understand, what was the first administration process? Who abandoned it first? Was it the corporation when they took out the mortgage, and after so much year passed, they said, all right, cool, we're just going to abandon this because these people are not even claiming their credit. They're not even claiming the second part of the interest, the 80% that they're supposed to get. They're not claiming it, and we're just taking all the money. This is going to look shady at one point. So here what we're going to do with IRS. We're just going to put it on record that these people abandoned it, so we don't look shady. So now this is where we have to go back and file that 1099B, which is the beneficiary, which goes with the 1041. It's the beneficiary. You get what I'm saying? So now who has the
Right, but
benefits?
when you were saying before who's abandoning it, the presumption that was being that everything was being operated under was that we were abandoning it, but we didn't even know we had it to begin with.
Exactly.
So now you're saying, hey, I'm going to file 1099A because I didn't even know this existed, so I wasn't abandoning this. You, the entity who gave me a loan or facilitated a scenario where you securitize something, whether it was my court case or whether it was a mortgage or whatever the case is, that you took my SS number for and securitized it. I'm saying, hey, I didn't abandon it. I didn't even know it existed. So I'm filing 1099A. That's how I understand the process works. So when
which is still incorrect, because you wouldn't file a 1099A because it's already filed. That's what we don't know, because we don't know these things. They already filed these things. We don't think they file it because we're not seeing the back on their books. But that's why.
The minute you filed it and not knowing that it was already filed, guess what happens? You trigger an audit because they're going to want to know, meaning the IRS, why are there two 1099As?
And that's why I file. And that's why I file with my car. That's why I file a 211 and a 1099B and a 1099C to cancel out the debt.
Right.
Can I say something? Yes, somebody mentioned something like that to me. It was like a riddle or a song, and they were like, remember that song, A, B, C? It's easy, like 1, 2, 3. It's basically, you have to do the 1099A, B, and C. Am I correct? And then the 1040.
One of them is always filed by the institution, which is the 1099A. The 1099A and the OID, the original issue of discharge, is always filed by the institution, the financial institution, right? And that's why these credit was supposed to go through a bank. But when we spread out the credit to every financial institution, we don't know when it's getting convoluted, when the water is getting dirty and muddy, because we don't know that they're filing these things and claiming all the credits, because they get paid 4 times. Either way it goes, they get paid 4 times.
I've heard they get paid 10 times.
Well, no, they get 10 times the amount, but they get paid 4 times.
So that riddle or whatever, because I see somebody stating, why would you cancel? Listen, we're all here to learn. I was just putting it out there. I'm not saying that's what it is. I just literally, because a lot of people were doing 1099As and we're forgetting the Bs, the 1099B. And then someone mentioned ABC. for whatever reason. That's why I'm asking, is that a thing where eventually you would be using the 1099-C? I know you're canceling a debt, but is there any fact to it, including the easy as 1, 2, 3, meaning the 1040, I guess? I'm guessing the
So
schedule 1, 2, and 3.
what I do, I relinquish the 1099-C. I use that to cancel out debt, which relinquish their rights to the credits,
Exactly.
and the
Thank you.
1040 with the 1040 with the 1099-B, I claims the credit back.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So I guess that was correct.
Well, that's what I did with my car, and I paid it off without no issue. The bank the bank laughed and said that I did a great job.
And did you get credits back?
Yeah,
Right.
I got
It's crazy
I,
because that was a
yeah, I
real
got
riddle.
I
It's
got
like
the
a
money
lot of
back.
mysteries right beneath
No,
under
that's
our
not the question I
noses.
asked. What did you get back in credits?
Oh, I got the full value because it's
Of what?
the 2 times the amount. So the car was 14,000. I got a $14,000 check from the
Okay,
IRS.
and what I'm saying to you is, if you did, from what I understand, if you didn't cancel the debt, the 1099-C, and then claim the A and the B, you would have got 10 times the credit, not just 2 times.
I didn't want to be greedy. I just wanted to claim my credits back.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you forfeited getting 10 times the credit.
Yeah,
And then you
because I could have
then
got
you could do the electronic filing. And let's say that car is 14,000, you said, right?
yeah.
And when you multiply by that 10, that's 140,000. Then electronically, you could have claimed back 24%.
Yeah, but I didn't have
It beats the 28,000 that you got.
and that I definitely understand that, but I was just coming into the knowledge, and I didn't have the full knowledge of what the security is based on the Series 7, right? And so, and I didn't have any Bloomberg report to back my statement up that what I understand that y'all are trading this and y'all getting an interest payment based on the maturity date every year or every so often based on the maturity, right? So I didn't know that much. So I just wanted to just claim back what I knew about.
Right. I mean, a lot of us don't know what we don't know, and I'm still learning. This is an everyday learning thing. I'm just going by what I've seen other, folks on this.
No, but those people understand what they're doing. That's why they got that amount.
Right. But I'm just saying. Or I guess at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, yeah, you can go the route you went, but you're leaving money on the table that, guess what, they're taking.
Which is fine. Which is
Not
fine.
with me. It ain't. I'd rather have it in my coffers and give it to my generation
Which-
and my heirs and whatnot. Because then, at the end of the day, we're living in a very inflated economy right now. So
Which is fine
I'm
for me. Which
not
is
going to
fine
give
for
these
me
rich
because
fuckers any more money than they should be getting. That's just my personal view. It's not about greed. It's about getting what's yours and not giving
No.
it to the bankers that are really being greedy.
yeah, which is you're totally correct, and which is fine with me. I don't mind leaving that amount of money on the table because it's just a win for me because poverty level is at an all-time high, and if you could get back at least a little bit to survive, you just need to do that because it's at an all-time high. But when you understand the process completely and you understand what you're doing, like I understand what I'm doing now, I'm not leaving no stone unturned. And with Starseed process, I'm definitely not leaving no stone unturned.
Oh no, that's a great process. She turned me on to that too, and I've been boning up on it. Her and I have had discussions a few times. So, but absolutely, and I'm just looking at the whole landscape of different ways of seeking and securing remedy because there are multiple ways. I mean, her process relative to the PO box allows us to just get all those monthly bills just off our.
Well,
Our
2 times the
children.
amount. 2 times the amount. Remember that. 2 times the amount. So with her process, understanding, claiming the securities, routing that to the postal service, getting back the 2 times the amount, and having the postal service to back you. If they decide they want to fraud you, Oh my God. You're going into court strong, powerful.
Yeah.
Hey, Elena? Elena, are you there? Can we go back to the G10 labeled tampered evident bag?
Yes.
200 per roll label.
We
I'm
can.
proud of you, Wayne. I'm proud of you, Wayne. Don't let anybody knock you off your little totem pole. I'm proud of you for getting that little win.
So what I was looking up today, it
Thank
says
you.
prepare the bank deposit remittance bag as follows. Apply the address to the label using the bank address stamp from Harlan Clark or preprint label. Ensure the return address is included on the G10 label. Date stamp the G10 label with the unit's round dater. Attach the G10 label to the tamper evident plastic bag. And then just remove attach a barcoded registered mail red label 200 in the space provided on the front of the bag, complete PS form 3806 receipt for registered mail, and file the form locally. And then enter the registered mail article number in the registered dispatch book PS form 3584 or 3584A. Place the deposit ticket, check items, check money order, travel checks, list the check items, and cash in the tamper evident plastic bag. Do not include any other documents. Seal the bag as follows. So you just remove the white thing and close the bag up. Use either a POS 1 terminal, integrated retail terminal, or intelligent mail device to perform an acceptance scan on the registered mail article number placed on the bag. If using an IMD, select the acceptance event, choose first class as the product code, and enter the bank zip code as the destination zip code. Oh, thank you, Christy.
So the destination zip code would be the actual post office that you're at.
Like so for your PO box, that zip code. So like mine is 401559998. It's just your zip code for your post office box. And they told me, like, when I set mine up, they said that it was going to be 0015, but it's 9998 is what I've figured out. I kind of just jumped in, guys, where I was earlier. I haven't actually went over the whole process today. You go to the Postal One after you set up your business account, and you go to Postal One and you set up your account through them, and then you want to do the EPS, Enterprise Payment Systems, which is under additional services. You'll go there and register your account.
Hey, Starcy, I wanted to ask about your UCC one. Is there a specific information you put on yours?
I can get it and kind of go over it next time I go live. I had help with that, so I don't exactly know.
Because I
Hello?
saw Donald Trump did his, and I think we're supposed to do it like that. I trust Donald Trump when it come on to business. But I was just asking because I've never done the UCC one process.
Yeah, I definitely think we're supposed to do the UCC one, and it's just all coming together.
Okay, so just for clarity, once we get these little, like the stickers, they're gonna come in like 200 per roll. That sticker is gonna go on the actual statement itself. Stop me when I'm wrong. Stop.
It's going to go on the bag. So you're going to have to, our remittances, we've been trying to figure out, me and another person, we were trying to figure out how we turn these remittances in. Like, what do we do? And because he said that he tried to take some bills up to the his local post office today, and they didn't know how to accept them. So we've been trying to figure it out. And that's what it is it's these bags with the forms. And like, it tells me the specific forms. I was going to send it to you, Lee, but I didn't have your number. I did send it to Elena.
Okay.
Because,
I think
Do
I
you
sent
mind
you my
sending that to me too?
or myself
I could text you my number.
yeah, if you message me on here after we get off. And I also added it in the Telegram group and my Discord group.
But also, Elena, you talked about the PS 3806, and then you talked about two forms, PS 3584A and then 3584.
Yes.
Those forms need to go in prior us doing any of this. So we would go do those forms, take these three forms up to our local PO post office where we would, do our posting, and then, then we would get the G10 or G, is it G10? Yeah.
Yes. The G10 labels.
And then we get the little bags, but we have to have the PS forms in there first, right? Just so that they know our intentions on what we're about to do.
Well, it says on here, and I copied this right from where I'll send it to you. But it says, attach a barcoded registered mail label, 200, in the space provided on the front of the bag, and complete PS form 3806, receipt for registered mail, and file the form locally. So I would take that as you turn it in with the bag. Enter the registered mail article number in the registered dispatch book, PS form 3584. Place the deposit ticket, check item, check money order, blah, 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 into the tamper evident plastic bag. Do not include any other documents.
Christy, yes, it's 3806, and then 3584A as in apple, and 3584.
Yeah, I kind of see why they said the register mail with the bag, because the register mail, that's based on the postal treaty, the register mail holds a lot of weight and that keeps secure. So they have to deliver that a different way than how they deliver anything. That makes sense.
Essentially, each statement is we know that the top portion is a bond. That makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes so much sense.
So we would just put our securities in this bag, this G10 label evident bag, tempered bag, and then we would drop it off at the post office. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it's almost like we're one of those, what is that big truck that pulls up, the armored truck?
Oh, yeah. Barada or whatever.
These trucks.
Yeah. So we put our securities in the bag and then we drop it off. Yes, Rose, the bag is a G10 label tempered evident bag.
Well, I think it's the stickers are the G10s and then the bag is the tamper evident bag.
Okay, thank
I
you.
think that that's how it is.
Yeah, because the sticker comes with 200 per roll label, and you can order the bags on Postal One. Is that what
And
you
the
said?
stickers.
Okay.
I'm waiting on mine to come in. I ordered them last week, so. But I
Did you?
think I have to make them. I think that's part of that intelligent barcode that you need to do the remittance.
Yep.
Because I know that they, like y'all were just saying, they deal with the registered mail differently than any other mail. And part of that is because of the remittance process, because they're handling money, their transactions.
Securities, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more time for clarity, because people asking questions. And you can order this off of Postal One.
Yes.
I know, I see your little face. I'm like, okay, look, because I was doing chicken scratch. So you have the G10 stickers that you can order off of Postal One. Then you have the tempered evident bags, right? And then you have PS Form 3806 and PS Form 3584A and 3584. And those will go to your local office, but you need to have the sticker, which is the G10, and then you need to also have this evident bag so that you can put your securities in the bag with the sticker and the forms and take it to your postal office. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yay. Look at us winning.
Wow.
You are right.
Could you go over that one more time again?
One more time. Okay. So you can go on your Postal One account. Were you being facetious or were you really for real? Okay. So you can go to your Postal One account. You're going to get the G10 sticker, right? There's going to be 200 per roll per the label. That's the label. And then you have a tempered evident bag because you need something to put the securities, your statements, your bills in, right? But then you also have to have the PS Form 3806 and PS Form 3584A as in Apple, and then 3584. All three of those forms are going to go with you to your post office. You're going to take your statements. Is there a way to prepare the statements, Starseed, Elena? Like fold them up nice and pretty and stick them back into the envelope. I can't hear you.
Hold on.
Oh. Livy asked if it was the originals. I would think, yeah, maybe. Why would you want it? Maybe accounting? Yes, EA. Yes, you're amazing. I thought that said Post Malone. I was like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, so that makes sense. The picture at the top, is that where we would put all of our bills, like Verizon, AT&T, that's how we would keep our ledger? Oh my God. Okay, so that makes so much sense. So the top picture with the two little stampy guys, two little dots on the top left, like the little stamps, right? You're gonna put your Verizon and how much it is, all the way down, total it as your ledger. Where'd you go? And then I would actually make like maybe a copy of it for your own records. And then what is the one on the bottom?
So I think that's your receipt. Hold on.
And then I wonder if you can take the bottom one and add all of them together, like maybe quarterly, and then get all of that back too, because that would be,
Yeah, because the bottom looked like an invoice.
uh-huh.
Cash receipts. Yep.
And then you should be able to, all those receipts, like Lion has said, those receipts can also be turned in. And then you can get dividends back from it. Oh, it's such a great time to be alive.
I would put that on my taxes.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Y'all, I mean, I have to say this. This is awesome, y'all. This is just so beautiful.
Even if it comes up to $1 million, I'm gonna put that on my taxes.
Well, you can do it quarterly too, because what out was doing everything quarterly. So I feel like we could even do these quarterly, right, Elena? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're so smart. I'm so proud of you.
I'm not. I'm really not.
You really are. Don't say that. Y'all, this energy that has came in this morning, when I woke up, it was 11:11 when I woke up this morning. I was like, let the angels sing.
Things are gonna be good. I feel it. Like, everybody's getting ready to catch on to this, and everybody will be doing this soon.
I forgot, but my friend
haven't-
also told me there's like a direct there's a direct address to the treasury that you could send it to. I have to look at one of the documents, but there's like another address that just goes directly. Basically, I'm not really sure what it is right now, but she did show me. Maybe when you have one of your other lives or whatever, I could probably chime in then.
Absolutely. But this is out of all the processes that I've heard, and I've listened to a lot of them because I've been trying to figure this out for a long time. This is the simplest process that I've heard.
Absolutely. I totally agree. 100%.
Like, a lot of people have trouble getting to the Postal One part. That's the hardest part, is people finding that. But this book that I found, let's see. The bank accounts within the EPS. You have to go to additional services.
Elena, I did that all.
What was that?
I did that all yesterday, and then set up my account with the Business Gateway or something like that. And it asked me for a credit card to have on file. Did it ask you that too?
It gives you like a credit card number to put in through the trust. Like through that Wells Fargo account.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you used?
No, I actually used my own credit card to do that. So I'm gonna have to go back and see. It actually gave you a Wells Fargo?
Yeah, it had like a number to put in for the Wells Fargo.
Which makes sense because think about it the other day when we were talking about the horse riders that used to do that. And then think about what Wells Fargo is. It's the horse and buggies.
Exactly. You know, the postal service. These guys used to literally. It would take them like 30 days to get halfway across the world. They would have horses set up periodically for them to change horses when they got tired.
Well, yeah, if you look up under the EPS stuff, it says electronic fund transfer procedures. It's, I believe, 6 pages, and it gives you the Wells Fargo ABA number and how to use your number with their bank number. So you add their bank number and then you add your EPS number. It's a really long number, but it'll give you the little green check marks when you put the account and stuff in there.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask, because if you already have a bank set up with your trust, right? Wouldn't you use that routing number and bank number? I stop at that part because I was a little bit confused about it, but now
The
I'm
trust is
trying
through
to.
the EPS account.
Yeah, I stopped at that part for a little bit because I was like, not quite sure. But I think the EPA account comes with that Wells Fargo number, I think.
It's under the instructions. It'll say electronic fund transfer procedures. And it's under your business when you sign up for the business account. That's where I found it.
Okay, so I guess they're going with Wells Fargo as their underwriter.
Right. Right. And it even talks about if you're going to do wire transfers. Now, I didn't even get that far because I was like, I don't know about that. Because I remember hearing Elena say something the other night that she got booted out of FedWire, and I was like, okay, nope, I need to do a little more research on that.
I mean, it's a trial and error right now. None of us really know what we're doing, but
Oh, no, I know. I
Just
know.
taking the non-combative way.
hey, I'm always respectful and polite, and I say please and thank you, and I apologize.
Well, we're just all trying to learn because they sure as hell didn't teach us.
Exactly.
What'd you cook for dinner, Elena?
I didn't. I didn't.
I thought I heard her stirring around in there.
Oh yeah, I made a waffle.
That's me stirring around in here.
Yeah, and it's still saying pending before you can actually set up the PO box. That's where I'm confused. Because it's almost like when I go to Postal One, it brings up that page, but it's like, I don't remember signing up for that, but it's attached to my gateway, so maybe I did.
You guys said something earlier. I don't know who said it. Maybe it was Wayne, but about like not having, like we might as well hurry up and go get our post office, like the actual box, because once people start to catch on to this, like we're gonna run out of boxes.
Well, it's for the online PO box. It's so everything is done digitally. It's not a physical box, at least not on our end.
Okay.
If I'm reading this and understanding correctly, now I could be wrong, but it's to get the online PO box. So it's all done electronically. putting her finger up.
I mean, does it like make a huge difference or like probably in price?
I don't know. I'm
I
not
know in
that
New York
far.
they're expensive boxes.
Oh, they're expensive everywhere. They're expensive everywhere. And I live in a small town. Well, not so small anymore, but I live in a small town that keeps getting lots of publication and advertisement for the best little small town to visit in Texas. Mm-mm.
Anyways, I'm gonna have to hop off here soon, but it was great talking to you guys, and I might be back on here in a little bit. I gotta get my daughter. She loves to stay up all night, and I'm trying to break her of that. I say break her of that like she's a dog or something.
Let me know when you're back on, because I did want to touch bases on that thing we talked about earlier. So we didn't get there, but this stuff was all good stuff.
Of course.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I'll
Thank
I'll
you.
message you, Elena. Bye.
Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate everybody coming up here and talking. I appreciate learning from everybody too.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you a lot.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'll talk to y'all soon.